What's up, everyone? Today I'm going to be talking about the women's Mystery Ranch Scree 32. So let's start off with the good things. Firstly, the thing that makes this backpack and other Mystery Ranch backpacks stand out is their unique 3-zip design. I really like this design. I feel like it makes it super easy to get in and get access to everything that you need. Next, and this is very subjective and doesn't matter for the functionality at all, but it's the first thing I notice, and that's the color scheme. I love the colors of this backpack. This is their Shadow Moon colorway. I really like how it's pretty neutral, with it mainly being this charcoal gray. And then on the inside it has these bright pops of color, and this happens to be my favorite shade of blue. I do also really like the daisy chains going down the front. It gives you lots of options to attach extra gear. And then there are also compression straps both on the side and on the front, and this really helps to compress your gear down when your backpack's maybe not as full as it could be. The quality of both the construction and the materials seems very good. My only complaint is that this zipper on my backpack tends to get stuck at the top right here. But other than that, I have no quality complaints. I have not used it enough to say that yes, this is for sure a very durable backpack, but I don't foresee it having any issues. So onto the pockets. There's some pockets that I really like and some pockets that I do not like. So starting off at the top, there are 2 pockets. There's a slightly smaller one right here, and then there's this top one above it, and this is the size of the entire lid. These are probably 2 of my favorite pockets on this backpack. You can fit a lot in here, and it's really easy to access while you're hiking. When I took it on my day hike, I put pretty much everything that I thought or knew that I would need in these top pockets. So next are these side water bottle pockets. They're the same on both sides. I really like they're made of this stretchy material to accommodate most water bottles. When I was testing, I didn't use these for water bottles as I typically use a bladder, but this was really good for sticking my gloves in while I was hiking. It was kind of a cold day, and when it was sunny, it'd be hot, but then when it was shady, it'd be cold. So this was really easy to just reach back and grab my gloves whenever it got chilly, or put them away when it got hot. So now onto the interior pockets. So like I said, I do typically use a bladder, so I am very grateful that they included a bladder pocket. It does not come with a bladder itself, so you have to use one that you already own or buy one if you don't own one. I used my Nathan 2-liter and it fit really well. I feel like any standard 2 or 3 liter bladder would fit just fine. And to go along with that, there is a port right here. It can go either side, which is really nice. You can choose what side you want your hose on. The only thing I don't really like about this port is it's not big enough for a bite valve cover to go through. So if you use one like I do, you have to take the bite valve off, take the cover off, put the bite valve back on, run it through, and then kind of redo the process. If you do this and your bladder is full, be very careful taking your bite valve off. Not a pocket, but also related to the bladder. Most modern backpacks that include a spot for a bladder also include a magnet on this chest strap so that you have a place to keep your hose so it's not flying everywhere. This does not come with a magnet, but I feel like it'd be super easy to DIY and just glue one on so you have a place to hold your hydration tube. So the other pockets on the interior are these wing pockets. I appreciate Mystery Ranch trying to give some more organization options on the interior of the backpack, but these don't really make sense to me. They're kind of odd shaped. They're long and skinny, but they don't go all the way to the bottom of the back, and I'm not sure why. If you're going for long and skinny, make it the full length. So when I was testing it, I put smaller things I didn't really think I would use in here just to keep them out of the way of the main compartment. I don't really have strong opinions on these pockets. I don't think they're great. I don't think they're horrible. They're just kind of odd. So onto the only other pockets on this backpack, and those are the hip belt pockets. I do not like these pockets. I feel they are not big enough. I want my hip belts to be able to hold a phone or the equivalent amount of snacks. Related to this, there are no pockets on the straps, so there's no real place to put your phone if you want quick access to it, which I do, because usually I see a salamander or something and I want to take a picture before it runs away. So that might be my biggest complaint about this backpack, is there's no easy access for a phone. I was able to fit some snacks in here when I was hiking, but only 2. And I need more snacks than that. I should mention that Mystery Ranch does offer separate add-on pockets that you can buy that attach to your straps, so they do have an option for holding your phone, but you do have to buy it separately. And I did consider this, but I decided against it for reasons I will get into later. While we're looking at the straps, I thought I would note there are some places you can attach things, like here or here. This strap here is actually where I attached my Zoleo while I was hiking, which is a emergency communication device. Just hooked the carabiner on here, and it worked pretty well. I know I've complained about the hip belt so far, but I do have something good to say about it. It is removable. There are little attachment points here and here. You disconnect these, and then there's some Velcro. You just pull it out through the side. Now, if you're someone who's just using this for hiking or the outdoors, you probably don't need that feature, but I think this is also a good, travel pack, and for either road trips or for planes, that is a great option. That removes a lot of bulk that you wouldn't really need. So something that usually comes up when people talk about Mystery Ranch backpacks is how ridiculously comfortable everyone thinks these harnesses are, and I wish I could say that I tried it on and just forgot that I was wearing it, but that was not my experience. I felt like it took a lot of effort to get this to fit right, and to be fair to Mystery Ranch, this is my first backpack that's adjustable like this, and I am much more used to hydration packs with vest style straps, so part of it just might be what I'm used to. Eventually I was able to get this to fit me, but my personal opinion is still that vest straps are more comfortable. While hiking, it did feel pretty comfortable. I felt like it did a good job of distributing a lot of the weight to my hips, but the next day my shoulders did feel sore, so it was comfortable while wearing it, but not so much after. So in addition to the lack of pockets that you can access while moving, I do have one other pretty big issue with this pack, but I saved it for the end because I feel like it's pretty subjective. I did want to include it though because I feel like others might be in the same boat. And the problem that I have with this pack is I don't know how best to use it. In my personal opinion, this is far too big for a day pack. I used this in a winter hike and brought way more layers than I thought I would need or did need, and there was still extra room. I could see this being a day pack for a family where you're going to have one person carrying everything, but for one person, I feel like it's overkill for a day pack. And on the other hand, it doesn't feel quite big enough for an overnight pack. Now, you could definitely use this overnight, in the summer when you don't need a ton of layers, and I'm sure people do, but I feel like most people who pack on the lighter side of things and would use this pack well would tend to buy ultralight packs, which this definitely isn't. So I feel like it hits a weird spot in the market. I'm not quite sure who its target is. So to give you a bit of a comparison, I will show you what the Mystery Ranch Scree 32 looks like next to the Osprey Raven 14 and Osprey Trail Kit 40. As you can see, it's about the same size as my 40-liter backpack, perhaps even a tad bit bigger. I did buy this pack online without seeing it in person, which was my mistake. But REI was having a good sale, and Mystery Ranch packs are pricey. So I was expecting this pack to be a bit smaller, somewhere in between the 14 and 40-liter backpacks that I already have. I had planned on using it for a day pack on long days or as a personal item for flights, and I just feel it's too big for either of these cases. Before giving my final thoughts on this pack, I do need to mention that this is not the most recent version. They actually have the Mystery Ranch Scree 33 out now, and as the name implies, it's 1 liter bigger. In addition, the new version, this middle part zips up higher, and they did remove the side pockets, adding another compression strap down lower. The pockets on the top are also different. I haven't seen it in person, but it looks like it has one big pocket instead of the 2 smaller ones. They also added a strap going across like this, and a removable aluminum frame. Now this does have a frame, and it is removable, but it's not aluminum. Also, they removed the pockets on the hip belt and added some loops, so now you have nowhere to put snacks. Based on their recent changes, I think they're intending this to be more of a climbing pack, but this is just speculation because they don't actually say that anywhere that I can find. So my final thoughts on this pack are that it does seem really well designed, with the exception of a few pockets, and it does seem to be really high quality. However, I will probably be returning this to REI. I think this is a fantastic option if it fits your needs. It just doesn't fit mine very well, unfortunately. It seems like a kind of weird in-between size. I did consider replacing my Osprey Trail Kit with this, since despite being 8 liters different, they seem to be about the same size. And I do like the design better on this than the Osprey. However, I pretty much only use the trail kit for car camping, road trips, and flights. And for those particular uses, I feel like there are even better options than this. I haven't tested any of those out, so I can't recommend them, but I have been looking at Cotopaxi, Gregory, and Matador. If you have any questions at all about the Women's Mystery Ranch Scree 32, be sure to leave them in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to be always adventuring.